the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. The first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. Witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. The scales betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Hello, everyone. I don't know, this might be coming out of left field here, but I decided on a whim to play some Dark Souls, so that's what we're doing. Dark Souls, one of my favorite games. Used to be for a long time. I'm not sure if it is anymore. But here we are at the Undead Asylum. We just watched the intro. It's been a while since I watched it, and actually, oh, there's some maggots there. I never, they're everywhere. They're they're running even at the corner where I was sitting before. That's nasty, dude. You just sat in a place for a bunch of maggots crawling over you. You really lost all hope, didn't you? That man gave you some new hope. I wonder where he is now. But yeah, I decided to play some Dark Souls. There's a dead rat there. Some light coming in, blocking our view. But yeah, it's a dead rat, all right. There's no... I don't think there's a way where I can focus there or like enter first-person view or anything. But anyway, the dude dropped a corpse because this game engine does not allow items to not be attached to corpses, I guess. And we get the dungeon cell key, which is... Well, we have a few items. We have the black separation crystal, which is just a multiplayer item. I'm not playing on multiplayer, so this will not be relevant to us in any way. There's really like this description doesn't give any explanation for why the black separation crystal works the way it does. So really, it's not something we need to worry about anyway. The pendant has no effect. Everybody knows about the pendant story already, like it's a gift that you can choose at the beginning of the game. I chose it just because of sentimental value, I guess. Just add to the mystique of the character, I chose to play as the deprived class, which has nothing. And I guess he has this pendant for some reason. And here we have the dark sign, which is, well, it was explained in the intro. In gameplay, it has the effect of returning you to the last bonfire you've rested at, which you don't know what that is yet, I guess. If you haven't played Dark Souls, I guess. I mean, it's not like I don't think anybody that hasn't played Dark Souls is watching this, but let's pretend they aren't. And it's been a while since I've played the game also, so yeah, I guess I might be relearning some stuff. Here we have our stats. We're not gonna worry about that right now. We have a straight sword hilt. Now we don't anymore. Let's put it back. I always get it confused, like sometimes, because to toggle the display, you have to press X, right, in the Xbox controller there. But if you're in this screen, you press X to unequip the item, so I always get confused. You have to press it in this screen, which doesn't look much different from the other one. It's still like a stats screen or whatever. Found discarded in the Undead Asylum, so I guess our character just picked it up just because, I guess. Maybe he needed some way to defend himself before he got thrown here. Maybe he picked it in desperation to fight off the people that were corralling him here. Something, I don't know. Many explanations could be found. But anyway, let's use the dungeon cell key to get out. And we can hear some gasping. Sounds like a female voice. There's someone over there. I'm pretty sure that's not the origin of the gasping. But anyway, there are messages here. Those are messages that are usually left by other players, but some of them are left by the system of the game itself, just to teach you, the tutorial, right stick, camera controls. You can see someone right there. That guy could be the origin of the gasping, I guess. He could be. Oh, there's one there. And it's to teach us to attack, but really? Why are we going to be mean to this guy? Also, hello there, stray demon. That guy's there. If you haven't played this game yet and you happen to just look to your right, you might be intimidated right now. This guy looks a lot like the Vanguard. Well, he looks superficially like the Vanguard from Demon Souls. So, maybe you're already thinking some stuff up in your mind as to what this thing is, but we're not going to... Let me just spoil it for you right now. We're not going to face this guy until much later in the game. But yeah, you press RB to attack. I'm not going to attack the zombie. I mean, the game seems to be kind of like nudging you in this direction, but I'm not going to do that. And RT is a strong attack. There's another guy there where we can test a strong attack. But again, we're not going to do that. We're going to be merciful this time. We can hold this button to dash, I guess. I remember this stuff. And this... One of the most important buttons in the game, especially if you're just going like melee or whatever, it can target lock. There's a guy for you to practice it. And this time you can actually practice the thing without being violent with him. I mean, from his eyes, it really doesn't seem like he's gonna do much good. He's not gonna be up to any good if we just let him be, but whatever, man. I sympathize. I have no eyes. No eyes. Just black voids there. So maybe the Black Void Eyes gang is going to rise up against the brightly colored, flashing orange eyes gang at some point in the asylum after I get out, but not while I'm here. And there's a bonfire. If you rest at it, you recover HP, but first you gotta light it. And you used to get an achievement for doing so. Momentous occasion in gaming history here, lighting the first bonfire in Dark Souls. For now, we only have the option to leave, but if we had lost any HP, it would be recovered. And along with some other things that we'll see when we see them. There's a door here, but you can't open because it doesn't open from this side. It's one of those games where doors are blocked from the other side. There's some atmosphere. Seems to be a storm raging outside, which is timely because there's a storm raging outside my own house as well. Well, there was one a little while ago. Took the power out. Now it's back here at least. You can see the reflection of the bonfire on the ground. That's pretty nice. It looks pretty nice. I don't remember if it used to look like this. This is of course the remastered version, which adds, a little bit of visual flair, but the models still look the same, I think. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. But it does seem to give you an increased field of view, and you can see there's someone up there just waiting for us, which we couldn't in the original version of the game, as far as I remember. But anyway, if we come over here and read this message, it says, "Get away, right on time for this guy to show up." We're gonna follow that advice. And just come over here. Guy couldn't touch us. It's very difficult for you to fight that guy just with this getup that we have right now. Pretty much impossible. It's not intentional. You can do it, and you get a reward for doing so, but there's really no reason for us to do that right now. I'm not sure what kind of build I'm gonna use. My plan was to just use the build that I originally used in the game, but that build is the build that I kind of use in all Souls-likes, so I'm not sure. So this says get your shield, but it's because this guy's throwing arrows at us. Arrows that curve to track us a little bit. Well, that's nice. But we don't have any shield, but there's an item there. I wonder what that could be. Considering I don't have any shield. It's a shield. Can you believe that? And we can enter our equipment screen here and equip the plank shield. But first, makeshift protection from wood planks provides minimal protection, but at the cost of moderate humiliation. Also, I said makeshift protection. It's a makeshift shield. I was reading ahead there. But yeah, it's a shield. It technically counts as a shield. It's not going to do much good against, at melee attacks or whatever, but it does work against arrows. It did take off a little bit of my health there because of the shield stats. I guess I should explain that now, whatever. You can see their damage reduction percent. It reduces 75% of physical damage. Not all of it. It does seem to reduce a little bit more percent of arrow damage. I never understood exactly how that worked. But whatever. 75 is not a very good shield. And we have the club here. A simple wooden club. The simple bladeless strike weapon is effective against most foes, is easily handled, and can break the guard of a shield. However, a single miss makes one wide open, so timing and proximities are crucial. Yep. It basically, you can get the club in it. The attack is, if you miss the attack, your animation. Well, basically what that description was saying is that if you miss the attack, don't interrupt me, man. If you miss the attack, the animation is gonna be longer. The recovery time from the animation will be longer. But if you hit the attack, then you can attack a little bit faster. See, I'm gonna try to mash the button here. See, like if you just attack wide open, the animation takes much longer to trigger again. You even get to walk a little bit before it does. This is just more tutorial stuff. And we killed our first enemy, I guess, without much hassle. Here we have the first fog gate of the game. Classic. The enemies that we could... This is one of the ones that melts. These fog gates can indicate bosses. I think they're mostly used to separate loading zones. The ones that do indicate bosses, they don't go away when you go through them, of course, because you have to fight the boss first. There's someone over there. It seems to be the guy that was giving us hope back at the beginning of the game. It's teaching you how to backstep and roll. Very important. And there seems to be something shining over there. Let's pick it up. I don't remember where everything is in this game. I'm kind of pretending that I know what I'm talking about right now, but we can't actually access that thing up there right now. It won't be accessible until much later as well. But that doesn't matter, I guess. Game is stuttering a bit, but I guess it doesn't matter as well. Doesn't seem to be any way to reach this guy. It's not like you can go through here. You can't smash this or anything. But we can go downstairs over here and unlock this. And it's that door that was open, that was locked from the other side. Now we can have access to the bonfire there, but it's not like I need to go there. We climb up those stairs. There's something over there. What's that? It's a ball. It's an iron ball. Dodge out of the way, and it'll smash the wall, revealing, granting us access to this guy, bathed in the light, holy light.
Oh, you're no hollow.
I don't know how you can tell. I look pretty hollow.
I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity.
Sorry, bro.
I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Sure.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family: "Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know." Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Ha, here we go.
Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now. And thank you.
Well, we got some new items. I guess let's check them out. Estus Flask. It's pretty much fills HP. This is pretty much the healing potion of the game. I mean, for those who don't know, healing in this game works in a kind of a unique way compared to like what games have been doing before this, where like you have a limited number of healing items, 5 for us right now, but every time you rest at a bonfire, you fill those up back to 5 or more depending on the stage of the game that you're at. So it's a pretty, I guess it was revolutionary back then, and it's pretty much the system that all Souls-like seem to have stuck with, because it's really good, right? I mean, it instead of just being a grind fest or whatever, it's just like it provides you with pretty much unchanging kind of limit for how much you can heal in a fight or during a dungeon exploration or whatever, and that's it. Okay, I didn't read the description for the dungeon cell key, but you know, it's pretty much kind of just acting like Kai was until now. So there you go. And here's just, I guess it's saying that passage to the outside world will not be granted easily. The dude mentioned something about an ancient family saying, and that's a pretty popular thing that happened. Oh, that's the noise for when somebody dies, and that's the noise for when a human dies. So it was the guy from there. If we go back there, he's not there anymore. He's gone. You can kill him, but you'd be a monster if you did. I don't know why you would do such a thing, such a horrible thing. There's someone else, and yeah, you can just... It's not very difficult. Open this door, and these 2 messages here will teach you about wielding the weapon in 2 hands and some other special moves that you can do. Wielding the weapon in 2 hands usually increases damage, and even more so if it's a strength-based weapon. We'll know what that is at some point. And there's one of the most important aspects of the game: resting at the bonfire revives enemies. So basically you can't cheese your way through checkpoints or whatever. Bonfires are basically checkpoints in this game. And here we can pretty easily 2-hand him. There's another guy there. He's being backed up by a ranged person, but you can make quick work of them as well. This is a backstab. Well, I guess it's a backstrike in the case of the club. um, pretty much like a special move which renders you invincible during the animation. This fog gate is a boss fog. It won't dissipate once we go through it. And this is teaching us about plunging attacks, which is a falling attack that you can perform for massive damage on an enemy. It's pretty much the most damaging kind of attack that you can do in the game. This is just talking about the backstab, or backstrike, critical hits, whatever, that I just performed. And this is sparing, which you can also do. I'm going to try to do it. I'm not sure if I'm going to... Yeah. Like if you time your shield... If you time the LT input just right, you will be able to repel an enemy's attack and open their guard for like a massive counter attack or whatever. This is locked. You have to get a key from somewhere else. I don't remember where the key is. This is one of the things that I don't remember about the game anymore. But anyway, it's time for us to fight the boss. Just two-hand the club. Traverse the white light. And it's just this guy again, but this time we get the drop on him, literally. And deal massive damage. This game only has music on bosses for the most part. It does have some music sometimes in other places, but... well, as you probably all know by this point in your lives, bosses are mostly about timing. I'm nervous right now because I'm recording a video, so... It's pretty much, bosses in this game are like a dance where you try to kill them. You try to rhythmically time yourself with their attacks and everything, but this one is so easy, like... And for your victory, you get the big Pilgrim's Key, but you also get some souls, a humanity. We'll see what that is. Oh, sorry. Humanity. You use to gain 1 humanity and greatly restore HP. Greatly restore HP is kind of a misprint there, because it restores all your HP. Doesn't matter how much you have. Little is known about its true nature, and little will be known about its true nature, basically, forever. Especially now that this series has ended, I guess. Estus Flask restores our HP. I think it restores 300 at this point, which is less than what we have. So less than ideal, I guess, but it is what it is. We'll get 2,000 souls down there. We're going to learn what that is later as well. And a message here congratulates us. Good job. Go straight ahead. But we're not going straight ahead. We are taking a slight detour because there's a crow's nest over there. And if we approach it, well, I guess nothing happens right now, but this is like a mechanic. You can leave items here, and I guess the crow characters, which never show their faces, but they do show their voices, will trade that item for something else. It depends on the item. You can get some pretty decent stuff out of them. I'm not sure what the list is, or not sure of anything anymore. But if we continue on over here, something will happen. Well, hopefully something will happen, because it's just a edge of a cliff. If nothing happens, then we're stuck here. There's really nowhere else for us to go. Here's a nice view of the asylum from outside, I guess. Looks kind of neat. Mountains there look pretty photorealistic. Let's go.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
I always thought that was so on the nose. The land of the ancient lords is called Lordran. If it was the land of the ancient kings, would it be called Kingram? It's just... I don't know. I mean, it's a nice name on itself, but just the way that it's presented, it just kind of invites the mind to make the association right away, right? I'm not sure that's the most elegant way to go about it. But here we are. This is the real game now. Our shield is floating on our back. Games up to this day still do that, doesn't matter. In Lordran you can level up and kindle at bonfires. What is kindling? Well, it's a thing. We'll learn about it. But we can rest at this bonfire, and if you notice, this bonfire has a little bit of a stronger flame than the other one. If we rest on it, you'll see that we have 10 Estus Flask. So kindling is basically improving the power of the bonfire. We can try to do it right now, but we can't kindle while hollowed. There is an option here for us to reverse hollowing, so... And we have no humanity. But we do have a humanity, but there is a distinction between the item humanity and your humanity attribute. We're going to use it. And our 0-0 back in the top left corner of the screen there became a 0-1. And now we can reverse hollowing. And what is reverse hollowing? Well, it's the act of becoming human again. Now we are human. And we can take a look at our beautiful face. Ah, don't we look just beautiful? That's the face of a true warrior right there, if you ask me. Ah, just amazing. It just adds a filter. It's very difficult to make a good-looking character in Dark Souls 1. I don't think it looks too bad, but still, you know, could be better. Whatever, it doesn't matter. There's this guy here. Let's ask information from him.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Yeah, okay, I guess off I go. Where? I don't know. But anyway, we're talking about kindling. Now we can kindle since we're not hollowed, but we need more humanity. And we don't have any more items, so I guess we're gonna have to look for more humanity. There's an item there, and it's humanity, so I guess we'll just use another one. Now we have a humanity again. We can go back and kindle the bonfire. Oh, but we cannot kindle further without the secret rite. The secret rite is going to be a little bit more difficult to come across than than the humanities. But anyway, let's see if this guy has more to say.
What? You want to hear?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul.
I'm an inquisitor.
Well, listen carefully then.
Sure.
One of the bells is up above in the Undead Church, but the lift is broken.
Well, it's not really broken.
You have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the undead burn through the waterway.
That waterway?
The other bell is back down below the undead burn, within the plague-infested Blight Town.
Doesn't seem like a great place.
I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
Me too, buddy. Well, okay, I guess. The lift is broken. The Undead Church is right here. And we can check out the lift for ourselves. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can also use gestures. Like, a friendly wave to this guy. Let's see if he waves back. Doesn't seem like it. He's a lot more well-armored than me. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Oh, alright. Well, I guess it sucks to be you. There's a whole bunch of jars here. Doesn't look like there's anything in any of them. But we can break them by rolling. Makes a loud noise, though, and it kind of startles me, so we're not going to do that. But anyway, we can come over here and check the elevator for ourselves. And, it's not here. It's not exactly broken, it's just not here. The elevator's supposed to be here, and it's not. There's just a pit. And we can fall down the pit. And, there's a pathway over here. There's some goodies here that you might not have gotten otherwise. Also, the introduction to chests. Yeah, items can come in chests. Despite what I said back then, items can come in chests. We get a Morning Star. Can we wield the Morning Star? It has a little bit less attack than the club, but does it have less attack for us? Yes, it does. Quite a lot less, in fact. But I think we can actually wield it. Yeah, it requires 11 strength, and that's exactly what we have. I mean, we can try it out, but as far as it goes, the animation is pretty much identical to the club. It does make different sound effects, though. I guess there you go. It is a more respectable weapon, I guess. No moderate humiliation from this one. We got cracked red eye orb. Let's... We got this. This is an item that allows you to return to the last bonfire you've been, but it does not take all your souls away, unlike the Dark Sign, except the Dark Sign is reusable while the Homeward Bone is a consumable. So, you know, that's what that's all about. Versions of these items will be featured in pretty much every other Souls-like in existence. Their names would change and their flavor text would change, but their functions will remain the same. So if you get used to this, we also got a talisman. We're not going to use these items because they are basically staffs, but to cast miracles, which are like priest spells. And I don't think we're making a faith build. We need faith to cast spells. For now, everything is the same with our character. I chose the character that has everything the same. Maybe for this reason. I'm not sure, but... Read the description of the Morning Star, which is unique in the fact that it's a hammer that inflicts thrust damage. It's a hammer-type weapon, but it inflicts thrust damage instead of being strike. The club is also a hammer-type weapon, and it is an unconventional hammer if you look at it that way, but it just deals strike damage as well, just like regular hammers. So, you know. Is that everything? Maybe not, I'm not sure yet. Oh, Cracked Red Eye Orb is a multiplayer item. You can read the description there if you want. But anyway, now with the Morning Star, which has less attack than our club, so I don't know why I'm using it. There's also Lloyd's Talisman over here. Lloyd's Talisman is an interesting item. It prevents Estus recovery, so if you throw it, like, if you're invading another world, which is like a multiplayer feature, other players will not be able to heal with Estus. There are also some enemies that also heal with Estus, like Undead like you. You can throw that to prevent them from healing with Estus. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use this item, but it does have some interesting lore tied to it. Allfather Lloyd is an interesting character. But we'll talk about that later, I guess. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll forget. But he is an interesting character. You can look more about him. These are skeletons. We're not going to deal with them right now. Let's just run away. The bonfire we were just at is right over here. There's a giant crow over there that brought us here, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just gonna come here to the bonfire and rest before the skeletons come to get us. Oh, maybe that's not going to be possible. But we have touched the limit of the skeletons' area of aggro, so they're backing away. And eventually the bonfire will light itself up again and allow us to rest. And we can level up a bit if we want. I mean, we could get some more health, some more endurance. Those two stats are pretty much universal for any build that you're making, so I mean, why not just invest a little bit in them? I really would like to get some clothes, though, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be a possibility for now. So I guess we're just going to follow his advice, follow that guy's advice, and enter the Undead Burg through the aqueduct that's right there. First of all, this guy has more to say.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will.
I don't know, man.
Here,
Seemed pretty rude to me.
this, as a token.
Oh, what is it going to give me?
No, go
Wow,
ahead.
is it a weapon?
It's for you.
Is it a Morning Star? See, I equipped a Morning Star to be able to impress you, because, you know, it's the weapon that you're using. And now the balls of our Morning Stars are just mushed together. Oh, he gave me a copper coin? Is it money? No, not really. I mean, it is money, but even coins of great value in the world of men have little value in Lordran, where the accepted currency is souls. So souls are the currency of this world. As you could see, you use souls to level up. But you also use souls to purchase all kinds of things. You just souls are a mixture between experience, or like kind of a carryable experience, and currency. A staple of Souls-likes, and will be featured in many of them if you've played any Souls game with like Souls-like inspirations, you're probably familiar with a system like this. These are fire bombs. Not much to them. They explode. And, yeah, many warriors use them to augment their strategic repertoire. Their items, we can equip them. There's no reason not to. We can equip them and then we can quick select the items by pressing down on the D-pad. I'm not sure I'm saying this, but here we go. The aqueduct is right there, but there are some mean people in the way. They have clothes. Maybe you can get their clothes. It still takes 2 hits to kill these guys. Well, we got a shield. It doesn't seem much better than ours, and maybe it isn't. This guy didn't drop anything, though. That guy seems to be slightly better armored, but there's something about this. Yeah, we'll talk about later. These enemies, if I remember correctly, even though they are, these guys were not featured in the Undead Asylum, but this guy was, like right at the end. There's also a guy throwing fire bombs at me. He has infinite fire bombs. These are fire bombs, by the way. That's what they look like. That's what they do. Let's get rid of them first, but there's this dude over there who's... I'm gonna take a back... Well, I guess this is a backstab now that we're using a weapon that thrusts. And we can... You can just get that guy off over there. He didn't die, though, so we're gonna have to kill him. Because I want to get that item that's there. Come on. You know we want to. There you go. He's too aggressive for his own good. It's just a soul of lust and death. These are carryable items that you use and you gain souls from them. You might be asking yourself if you're a complete newbie to this kind of game. But isn't it the same? Isn't it the same difference as just having souls? Not exactly. You can hear some noises coming from inside the aqueduct. I wonder what they are. You can pillage a corpse here. It has a lot of soul of lust and death. I think those give 200 souls. 1 soul gives 200 souls. There's a rat. I want to get him before he... The AI for these rats is weird. They will turn around once they see you, but then they'll turn around again, and they're quite aggressive, and they also cause status effect. We don't really want to deal with them right now. But anyway, I guess we're going. There's a door over there. Is that where the Undead Church is? No, it doesn't open from this side. But there's also an exit over here, which leads us, finally, after all this time, to the Undead Burg. With more people. One of the best designed levels in all of gaming history. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, at least. Some guys here, but they should be no trouble. There's another fog gate over there. That's another one of those where it's like it's just a loading zone. It's not a boss. Let me just spoil that. There's a fire thrower out there. And oh, he came at me with a sword. That was not a very clever move. There's another guy in here. Lots of traps in this game. Like right from the get-go, they're already trying to like give you little gotchas. I'm not sure that's excellent design, but sure feels like it. Sure feels like it to me. Broken stairs. I wonder if we can get up there at some point. But anyway, here's the fog. But there is also something down there. Let's see what's down there. It's an item. It's a large soul of lust in there. That gives 400 souls. But we can't get back up, so we have no choice but to take this route. Which is pretty dangerous. There's some guys here, but we can like... Well... Not if they do that. There we go. No problem. Nothing to see here. Oh, this guy wants to come after me. Come on. There we go. And now we just drinking S's and everything is A-okay. See, I underestimate Dark Souls sometimes, man. No, there's a guy hanging from there. If I had a ranged weapon, I could deal with him. Oh, I do have fire bombs. There's stuff down there as well. But that's a preview of the next part of the game, because we're not going there quite yet. Well, there's quite a few people there. I'm not sure how viable it is to try to get them like this, but we did it. And they kind of coordinate their timing here to be kind of annoying, especially since there's so many of them. I wouldn't be surprised if people who are going through this place for the first time died here. I'm pretty sure I must have died here at some point when I was playing this game for the first time. But anyway, we get rubbish. Read the description on the stairs. Oh yeah, we can, we can read the description there. Soul of a lost undead who has long ago gone hollow. I got some souls. Maybe somebody threw themselves off a cliff while I was not looking. Yeah, and the rubbish is nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But it actually does have a use, sort of, an oblique kind of use. We'll hang on to it for now, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, come over here. This guy has a humanity, I think. Yep. And we're back at the start of the stage, but we haven't rested on any bonfire, so everybody's still dead. Isn't that nice? And they ragdoll too. We can try to throw this guy off the cliff. Maybe not. Pass through the fog. No enemies over here, but... oh, don't you worry. It's about to get pretty heated in here. We'll come over here. There's a dragon. But he's just giving you a little scare. But what's really the issue is that there's a whole bunch of people here, including a guy up in the corner there who's an archer. But he's an archer that's actually in an advantageous position because you can't reach him. For now, anyway. Too aggressive for your own good, man. If you had just had the shield raised the whole time, you would have been able to block my attack. Actually, yeah, this shield is even worse than mine. So bad that most of the description is just talking about wooden shields in general. Doesn't even give it the time of day, man. Yeah, there's an archer over there. I can try to get rid of this guy while being assaulted by the archer. It's not going to be a big deal. But see, they can block your attacks, but they still take damage. And you can see the arrow is going to pass straight through me, but since I am in the backstab animation, I don't take any damage from it. Now we can quickly make our way here. Well, quickly is maybe an overstatement, but this guy is going to take a little bit more damage because he's better armored. And I think he has more health. I don't know. Enemies, even though they're the same model, the same attacks or whatever, depending on the area that they're at, they will be stronger. Over here we have a wooden shield, which is marginally... well, it's significantly better than our own, and 93 physical resistance is pretty good. Well, I mean, it's pretty good for now, I guess. You can pick a class at the start of the game that already starts with a shield that has 100% physical damage resistance. Those shields that those guys are wearing also have 100% physical damage resistance. And these spear guys, they have a bit of a different... strategy in mind. They basically just keep blocking, but sometimes they attack. But since they are holding spears, even though they are attacking, they are still basically counts as them having their shield raised. So you're not going to have a good time if you just try to tackle them like you did the other guys. But there's several ways that you can do it safely and quickly. But if you're a first-time player, it's probably going to trip you up. Maybe they'll kill you. It's likely that they will. Enemies deal a lot of damage in this game. Well, nothing compared to the kind of damage they deal in future Souls-likes, but still a lot more than what a lot of people were used to back in the day. Well, anyway, we can come over here.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for
He's
sale.
caressing nothing.
Everything's for sale.
Caressing an empty bucket. That's nice. We can talk to him.
Things are getting treacherous in these parts. A horrible goat demon has moved in.
Horrible goat demon.
Above, there's that humongous drake and a bull demon.
All of them are bad news.
Stick around this place.
Maybe the bull demon isn't, but he's really bad news for a first-time player. Well, anyway, this is completely unnecessary to do. There's no reason for me to do that, but I want to purchase the chain leggings because I'm tired of running around in a loincloth. So, Now I have chain leggings. Let's see if it didn't even impact our movement, and now we have a cooler little sound effect for when we do this.
Oh, I hope you brought plenty.
And we also want to purchase this, the residence key. Very important. Do we have any money for anything else? Daggers are cool. They're nice little weapons, but yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, come back.
Morningstar will do us fine for now. Anyway, we got ourselves a pair of pants. Isn't that nice? I'm pretty sure we're gonna go shirtless for a while, because the next little, I don't know why I attacked him. The next little thing, armor doesn't matter too much in this game. It's more about the timing and everything, as I said before. So, you know. Yeah, guy's gonna do his little charge attack, and we can also try to do like a funky little move. Seemed to work out better for us than for him. But in any case, this game had not introduced. Look at his swagger when he's climbing the stairs, man. That's hilarious. But anyway, let's go over here and get ourselves throwing knife. And there's something over there. We can't reach him. We can't reach it just by walking, but we can try to jump there. Jumping in this game may be a little bit awkward. You have to run and then let go of the B button and then press it again. It's quite weird. But we are at that place where I said I wonder if we can get up there later. We can. The dream is real. We are here finally. There's an item here, and it's a crossbow. And we can try to equip it. But we also have to equip bows for it. Does this mess with our roll? It certainly does, so we're not using the crossbow for now. Maybe some other time. Or maybe I could be using the club, you know. It might have been a little bit interesting as well. Anyway, we're going up there, and there's going to be a bonfire there. And I think that this is enough for now. It was a pretty introductory episode, not much movement, nothing happening, but whatever, it doesn't matter. There's something over there. Next time we'll see what it is. Let's just light the bonfire over here. This is one of the most important bonfires in the game. So much so that we light it, and it's going to be as weak as the one in the asylum. So we're going to try to rest in it, but we already have more than the limit of 5 Estus that the bonfire would give us, so we don't gain anything back. But we are going to kindle this bonfire. This one is actually possible to kindle because it is not as strong as the other one. So it'll have 10 Estus Flask uses now, just like the other one does. And we're going to be using it for a while, because this is a bonfire that illustrates one of the good aspects of this game, which is the intertwining design of the levels. And you'll see why that is in probably like future episodes. But for now, this is it. Let's just quit the game. We had a good time, I hope. An introductory time, but a good one. And we've got ourselves... So we got ourselves some bling, you know. We got chain pants, which I like. You know, they don't really look very good with the chain armor, but we're not going to be wearing that anyway. Whatever. Doesn't matter.